You can watch. Hey, Assalamu alaikum, everyone. We're gonna have a really an amazing and very special. We're gonna have very special night, Bismillah, tonight with the two wonderful young ladies,
Oh,
and we're just trying to get things going here properly. Just one second. Okay, I think we are good. Just let me double check that. I want to check my Instagram, see if we're good in terms of live or we have to do it again. So please bear with me if you don't mind. So all this stuff will be cut when we go live, so we don't have to worry about it. Just bear with me, please. hmm Okay, I think we're gonna do it again. Just gonna do it again on create, go live. We're doing it live. Just bear with me. We're gonna do it public. We're just gonna go next. Copy. We're gonna do this again.
it's lighting better
You
now.
are live. Okay, we are live. Oh, great. Okay, I think we're just gonna do it this way. Perfect. So sorry about this slow startup. I'll cut it. I'll cut it later. But we are good to go. We're live here. I'm just gonna add my profile, and the program will start. All right, we are rolling. Assalamu alaikum. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Askat. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. Alhamdulillah. I'm good.
Uh, Alhamdulillah. Sarah, thank you, and Askat as well for being part of the quick note here to accept the my invite to have a chat about the walkout of the school that you did yesterday at Akram Jomaa School. And I think that was really an amazing things you've done, and a lot of people have a lot of questions. And also, we would like personally, I'd like to get your feedback about the reactions we got from this walkout. It was amazing. It was overwhelming for me. So first, I'd like to start introduce, if you don't mind, both of you to introduce yourself and quickly give us into put us in the atmosphere how this walkout came about.
You can
So
start if
go
you
ahead.
want.
We said then we start from the right. Right is Askat. So go ahead, Askat.
Okay, so my name is Asghan. This walkout started originally. I owe it to Sara. She came up with the idea, and she was able to get another one of our mutual friends on board that posted it on her Instagram notes. Now, when she posted it, I was very curious because I had no idea about the walkout, not even from the other schools. So I contacted that friend, and I asked her. I was like, "Oh, what are the details about this? What's the time? What are we going to do? Are we just going to stand around and shout? What is happening?" So then she said that it's not exactly fully planned yet and that there's still a lot of details being made in the process. So she referred me to Sara, and then I got in contact with Sara, and then all together all of us came together to discuss everything, and then we came together with the timings and the ideas and to get posters and do research on the topic and collectively make it come to life and announce to our school that we were participating into the walkout.
Good. So we're going to go into that part there. Sarah, if you could quickly introduce yourself and also give us how did this workout came about.
My name is Sara E, and I am a student at Akram Jomaa. And what really made me get the idea of this is because I saw that there was going to be a lot of walkouts, especially on Thursday at 10 a.m. at a lot
Mm.
of schools. So I thought that the Muslim community in Akram Jama, like we should be involved in this, especially because it's an issue that also affected us because of this really long strike. And, you know, all public schools are underfunded and we're under one. So I thought it would be important for us to not only do the walkout to spread awareness outside, but also to spread awareness inside the school as to why this whole strike happened and why we should be in support of teachers. So
Oh, I see. And how did you rally? What did you do after you made that decision? How exactly this initiative that could start? Like, was it just like word of mouth among you student, or how did you inform the other student?
Um,
So it was both effort from online. Specifically, I had people that I didn't even talk to in person talking to me about the strike. And that's where I got the idea to ask for more information on it because everyone was really interested on what was going to happen. And from online, it being online,
Right.
everyone seeing that Akram Jomaa was going to be participating in this strike. A lot of people also started spreading it through word of mouth in school, here and there, discussing it with each other and talking about the details of it. So then we eventually had to go and announce to the school all of the details that was happening after we figured everything out, and we informed everyone to bring posters. And we also announced online, and we made posts, and we had as many people as we could repost that there was going to be a walkout so that there could be as many people involved as possible.
Right. And Sarah, did you notice a response was quick right away, or it took you a little bit of work to bring people together?
I think online and word of mouth was really confusing because some people were like the walkout was going to be for the whole day. Like it was just so unorganized.
Right.
So after reaching out to our school vice principal and stuff to kind of like discuss like what specific time of absence will be like we'll have some sort of leniency and stuff, so then it's more organized. Like it was Wednesday and I just started going to all classes saying what the walkout was about and that it's like all around like Alberta and stuff. And I just kind of spread it from there, and I had a whole like sign up sheet on a paper. And the reason I did that is because if people feel like they're committed to something, then they're more likely to show up. So I think that specifically is what truly made it like more I guess it just made it spread out more.
Hmm.
So.
Okay. So for some reason, thank you very much, Maka, for this. They are really amazing, no doubt. Um, there's I mean, I mean, one of the things that we heard quite a bit is whatever you've done yesterday was inspired or directed or influenced by teachers. So I want to ask you these questions: were the teachers or the school staff has any to do with this? Did they ask you to do it? Did they quote unquote inspire you to do it, or put you in that directions? Because for some reason, some people might, I mean, start to comment that way. So would you please, if you don't, I need you to answer from both of you, if that's okay.
Okay, so no, the teachers had no part in whatever was happening. This was entirely student led and student initiated. The only part that the teachers took was that we went to our vice principal and we talked to him about the details about having it done for rather an hour so that we weren't missing out on more classes, as many people were saying that we just wanted more excuses to skip school after the strike, which was not true. We wanted to have a peaceful protest and indulge ourselves into the walkout. So we asked, like, is it possible to just do it from this time to this time? And our vice principal was he was very lenient on us. He was like, okay, if you guys want to do it from the second period till the end of lunch, that's fine. And the teachers, they did not let us know like, oh yeah, you guys should do this, you guys should fight for us. No, we took it on ourselves because the teachers weren't allowed to say anything. Their voice was basically taken away by the notwithstanding clause. They weren't allowed to basically tell us that you guys need to fight for our rights. All of them, the ones that I talked to at least, were grateful to be back, even if it wasn't under the best conditions. They wanted to just provide us with an education again. So they didn't tell us like, oh, fight for our rights or anything. This was entirely led by the students, and the teachers did not take a part in it or push us in direction or tell us like, you need to do this, or this is happening with us. We took it on ourselves that we need to do this for our teachers.
Perfect. Sarah?
Yeah, like Aska said, this had nothing to do with teachers. This was completely organized by us. The things that we did, like going outside school property and things, this was a concern of some of the comments. No one exactly forced us to go outside. Like it wasn't like teachers there. also, like, there were no teachers in the walkout itself. They aren't allowed to be there. I heard they can get fined for that. I'm not really sure about that. So, yeah, it was completely led by us, and we're glad that it turned out that way. There was, however, the principal and vice principal were there just to ensure everyone's safety, but that's
They stepped outside for maybe 2 minutes to just see everything that was happening, and then they left us to it because they weren't involved in any of the protesting that was happening.
So how did the preparation came about? It just like because I've seen a lot of beautiful signs, and that means that there was a lot of work. So would you please just fill us in about how did you prepare? I start with Sarah.
Well, we prepared. I sort of like split it up among certain people to try to make posters. I did tell certain classes to make posters, but I knew for a fact that maybe it wouldn't be possible to make it on such short notice. So yeah, my friends and I especially made a lot of posters. I made more than enough, like not just for me, so then everyone can like hold a poster
Yeah,
around it.
exactly. Yes.
And a lot of my friends also did that. So I'm really glad that it turned out the way that it did.
These posters were amazing messages. I mean, I was really impressed, and I said, "Oh my goodness, this is beautiful." So what about you, Aska? Were you part of this also, making these
Yeah.
signs and posters?
Yeah, so that I definitely understood Sada's point that not everyone could go and buy posters or make posters on such a short notice, and
Yes.
especially being back to school after the strike and being hit with such a workload just after the first day. A lot of people were going home and reviewing on work or doing assignments and stuff. So we, as many people as we had free time, we went out and we bought posters or we got what we had in our house. And
Hmm.
I was up really late just making sure that there was enough posters for more than me, because I knew that like not everyone could make a poster, and I didn't plan on holding 4 posters at once. I planned to give them out to people so that anyone that didn't bring a poster could still be a part of it.
Right. So no, I mean, as I said, I did not expect these strong messages and these so-called well to the point, and that's probably would lead to my next questions. What these messages were they directed to government to pay attention to what's going on, or merely to vent out your frustration about the situation? So the aim was a message to the government or a public awareness, Sarah?
I would say that it's a mixture of both. With public awareness, like the more people that know that we as Akram Jomaa students like did the walkout with the posters and the more that the government will understand our frustration. And I was also so glad to see like other student walkouts all across Alberta. I think this really shows that what they're doing is not just damaging teachers, but also students, and students know about the effects of what is happening to them and they're aware. Therefore, they are going to express these frustrations until things are more fair and right.
Okay. Same question for you, Aska.
Yeah, it's definitely what Sara said. The posters, a lot of them were directed towards the government, like the ones that said cap the classes, and the ones that said, uh, like cut, like don't cut the funds, and make sure that we have enough money. Those were honestly directed to the government, but the other posters, the ones that said that they treat us the best, we should treat them with respect. That was a big chant that was going around. That was very much for public awareness as well as for the government. So that was very much for public awareness in the sense that people would try and think about the chant that, like if you can read the poster, then a teacher taught you. If you
Right.
can look at our signs, if you like drive, you can do this, someone must have taught you, a teacher must have taught you. Most people would have gone to school, whether that be homeschooling or they went to like a public school, private school. There was a teacher that taught them the skills that they needed to see our posters and read them. So that was it. And then it also directed the government that they need to respect our teachers, because the deal that was made afterwards that led the teachers to go on strike was I would call that disrespectful to what the teachers have done and what they've been doing for so long, that they've offered so much of their time and so much of their money to committing to the cause of their students, but they still didn't get the respect that they deserved from the strike that happened, and nothing really came out of it, which was the reason of the walkout, that we could hopefully do something instead.
So probably in a way you answered my next question, both of you. But I had a questions in mind is what kind of linkage or what kind of like why you think that supporting teachers' right is also protecting student themselves. So you're not really protesting for the benefit only of the teachers as much as you're doing it for the sake of a student in the first place. So how you link the two together? Why supporting teacher is protecting student? Go ahead, Sarah.
Okay,
So whenever I ask questions, you got start Sarah, and then we move to Askat.
okay. Sorry. So I would say that there's a huge connection between those two, because if there isn't enough public funding for public education, it's not just about like teacher working conditions and wages at this point. It's also about the student education and support. So a lot of students, especially with complex learning needs and disabilities and things, don't even get the accommodation or extra support that they need because of this lack of funding. So they're usually stuck in a classroom full of like 40 students with like, for example, like 5 other complex learners, and they don't get the support that they need. And it's not just about them, it's also about other students who can't even get one-on-one support with their teachers. So it's not just about teachers, it's also about students. And also students grow up to be workers, and if it's in a place where they don't feel like their work is valued or is protected, or that they even have worker rights in the first place, then they would not even want to be a part of the society. They would like, what's stopping us from leaving Alberta in the future, you know? Like, I think that it should be managed better.
Should be managed better. Okay. Askat?
I think the connection is it directly goes back to students as well, because an example would be my grade 9 class. That year we had PATs and there was a lot of material to cover. So, and especially the ones that they would like give us PAT prep as well, it was a lot to do. And I'm sure that my grade 9 class had 30 students in it, which compared to some of the other classes down here is not that bad, but I still think it took a toll on me personally, and it took a toll on my classmates personally. I even had our career teacher that we had that would like teach us a lot about life skills in high school and later about the work field and stuff. She would tell us that this class would be so much easier on her and so much better for us if there was even 25 students, or if there was like 20 students was like the best that there should be. Even 25 students would make such a big difference from 30. And that way she could focus on what we needed. So if someone was weak in science, which was one of the subjects that she taught, she would be more able to go to them and teach them one-on-one and see exactly what they're struggling with, so that they didn't do bad on that section in the PAT. But since there were so many students and they were all struggling with their own things, she couldn't go to them one by one, and instead she had to briefly cover everything that everyone was confused about, but none of it was specific. So
Yeah.
I think
So really, it's as much as it was protesting to support the teachers' right, but also this is also indirect cause for the student right and student better educations, for sure. So you are doing it for them, but also it benefit everyone, but mainly the student. So Sarah, when you start walking out of the school, because I joined you right at that moment, what was the teacher's reaction seeing all these kids just coming out?
Honestly, for me, it was my social studies class. So the walkout is very much related to social studies. So when I was leaving, like, I think it was just like a normal reaction, because all the teachers were already aware that it's gonna happen. So it's not like too surprising for teachers that students are out. And for some classes, only some people left, and for others, like whole classes just like left. So like the class was like completely like the teacher can't teach, which is exactly like the.
Right.
So that was nice to see.
So, okay. So I'm going to ask the question for Aska. So what was the atmosphere among students during the walkout? What was the emotions were in the air at that moment?
Right when we walked out at first, not so many people were jumping up and down. There was definitely some energetic groups that were waving around their posters and like
Right.
shouting. And then I think the moment we started stepping off school campus and going towards the highway and Barlow Trail and to like showing our posters and stuff, I think that's when everyone really got into it. And the atmosphere, it felt really empowering, actually. The fact that everyone was around us and they were like they would go wild if someone was honking at them or giving them a thumbs up and showing some type of support towards us. Everyone was so cheerful and happy, and then together when we all started chanting, it felt like this is my community. I felt so proud to be a part of such a community, and that everyone was so energetic and excited to be a part of it. And even people before that were nervous to hold posters before or stand next to the road, they started asking me for my poster. They're like, I want one of the big ones. Can I please like start waving it around at the road? And I think it really brought anyone that was there, and I think generally our community, closer because of how like energetic and empowering the atmosphere felt while everyone was protesting.
Wow. I saw that excitement in my own eyes, and it was just amazing. I mean, kids were just literally jumping, and they were so enthused, my goodness. So, as I said, I did not expect this, and I was so happy to see it. And I was beyond surprised with these beautiful messages. Uh, but that's going to lead me, Sarah, to my next question is a lot of people, and you say students shouldn't get involved in politics. So what would you say to that?
I would say that, at least for most of the comments that I saw, it's mostly just criticizing our like age, because we're like high schoolers and like, obviously we're not voters or anything. And also
Right.
are like people of color. So I think those were the two biggest concerns for people, and they weren't actually pointing out the actual issue that we were protesting for. So I think that this shows that they probably know that what we are doing is right, but like the only excuse they can get to like attack us basically is our age. So
Your age. And Askat, same thing. Students shouldn't get involved in politics. Your reply to that.
I think it's actually more important for the youth, especially high schoolers, to get involved in these things as people who are going to be adults soon enough, because we should be ready to have our political views in like base and be ready to vote when we are 18, because I think a lot of people that are 18 now, or the ones that were voting before, they weren't that uh, well known about the politics. I think it's good for us to know, especially in like high school, from grade 9 to 12, they should be getting their head into politics as much as possible, and they should be like doing these things, like going out into their community, like doing things that are supporting their beliefs and things that they believe in, because it's up to the youth, because I feel like it's important for us as future adults to know these things, because we can't just enter adulthood thinking that the people older than us will handle it, or that the government is going to do it on their own, or this is someone else's problem. This is just as much as our problem as it is for the people that are graduating this year, because it's going to continue being their problem for whoever is going to graduate after us and the year after them. It's going to continue affecting future generations, and it's affecting us right now. So if we don't stop it, it's just going to continue, and it's probably going to get worse.
For sure, 100%. And I think, and I'm not really sure if was like part of the outcome that you were hoping for, Sarah, is to get the community and to get the youth more involved in politics. But did you feel that you achieved that in terms of getting getting the student like up to speed with the topic slash with the engagement? Did you see that after all, after the walkout was done?
I do believe that we achieved that, and I was actually pretty surprised with the amount of students that were actually there. And I believe that like this was like a really like big stepping stone for a lot of people to learn like why the strike happened and why all this happens. And we were all able to engage together. Like usually I don't think that in the school like anyone can talk to anyone, but at the walkout like everyone was talking to everyone, like no matter what, like you're not friends with them, like it didn't matter because we were all there for the same cause and we were all holding the same signs. We were all there for the teachers. We were all there chanting the same thing. So that really I think strengthened our community, like Eska said, and it also made us more engaged and aware in the current politics of the province.
Very good. Very good. We'd like to add into that, Aska?
Yeah, I
You think
agree
mission
with it.
accomplished?
Yeah, I think it was good, but I also think that a lot of people they got more into it after they saw the walkout happen. Because if your school is directly involved in it and people you know, like your best friends, are going out and they're like saying things about this. Now, you might not talk with your best friend about politics directly, but when they're going out and doing this, you're going to go ask them, hey, what is this about? Hey, can you tell me more? And if you're following them on Instagram or TikTok or anything, you're going to see their their reposts, which are usually political clips, things that are talking about the politics that are happening. So I think that educating more people about the current state of politics that are happening right now, I think that was achieved. Yeah, I think there was a really good
So,
area.
Sarah, do you believe that people, your friends, were some of them were hesitant to participate, or they were a little bit of I don't want to use the word afraid, but a little bit unsure, and then they got somehow they overcome that feeling and they participated openly, or give me your take on that.
Yeah, when I was first getting people to sign, I decided to start out with my friends, and it was like completely empty, and we weren't sure
Right.
who stuff. So a lot of my friends and like close people that I know were hesitant to sign up for it because they were like, what if there isn't enough people? We're skipping class. Like, well, what if we get in trouble? Like all that. Like there was this like fear that like something bad was gonna happen. But I think after we gathered a lot of the community and like told a lot of these students to sign up and like a massive amount of students signed,
Hmm.
a lot of my friends that were not even planning on going because like they weren't like they said they weren't allowed to like actually were able to like talk to their parents about it, informed and educated their parents about it, and were able to go later. So I think that the whole community part really played out a part in driving that fear and uncertainty away from those people.
Beautiful. I think this will bring us to Simon Jamal comment. Bravo, all student in Calgary Islamic School. I don't know if you, Sarah, do you know Simon Jamal? Are you aware of Simon Jamal?
Yes, I have seen some of
You just remind me of her. She's a fighter like yourself. So good to hear that and address all the wrongful accusation by conservatives saying these students are being used as a political pawns by teachers. And maybe I would like to get your reply to that. How do you respond to this, where people might accuse you as a student being used by the teachers? You're going to go to that. Glad to hear that the student led a strong initiative to support teachers and public education. You guys are so well spoken. Keep it up. So I want you to know this. Were you used as a pawn by teachers? And what do you say? How you reply to that? Is that insulting to your hard work?
um well okay, I'll go, but basically it's kind of limiting like all of like because we were literally in a strike. The teachers did not have time to like indoctrinate some sort of like liberal like agenda into our heads and tell us that this is wrong. We were in the strike and we knew something was going wrong, so we were able to look it up ourselves and find out what was going wrong. And we found this out ourselves based on like videos and reading about it. It's like literally all over. I was in downtown and I saw everyone wearing red. That was like when I actually started like looking it up more and looking at the ATA and stuff like that. So I don't think teachers necessarily did anything to the students. I think it's that the students themselves observed that there was something wrong with it, and that is what made us like aware. And I
Mm.
don't think that any person being like socially aware of like issues like that, especially when it's more local, makes you like specifically a political pawn. I think it's pretty insulting to say that because you're basically implying that we can't think with our own heads. But
So true. Askat, what was your
Yeah,
reaction to that
I
accusation?
Yeah, I also think that's pretty insulting for the fact that we did like everything on our own. I think most of the credit should go to Sara. I think she definitely planned a lot of it. She came up with the idea and she was able to be like the head of everything. I think it's insulting to her mostly, and I also find it insulting to us and all the students that went out there on their own will, that they think that the teachers made us go outside and do this. Yeah, she has the point. Like the teachers, they were way too caught up with the strike and the fact that we're like 3 weeks behind on so much of the topics in school that we're doing. They don't have time to be planning like a little walkout or making us do this. It was completely on us, and it was completely on like Sara, who was able to get everyone together to do it. So I definitely find that insulting that they think that we weren't able to do it on our own and that we needed some sort of adult or some sort of teacher to make us fight for them.
I think we have a Yusra as well. Mukhtar is saying, so proud of you, Sarah, for Government Life. You are brave, confident, and truly amazing. And I think I have to agree with that. Askat and Sarah, really, this is an amazing. So I'm think, as you said, Alberta in general, there's a lot of schools, student did they participate in this walkout. But for some reason, if you look, and I think you noticed that if you go into all these videos we made, you notice most of the comment they were not really talking about the teachers, right? As much as they were talking about the students, about how the student dressed up, about being attacked as a quote unquote immigrant, and this is not your place, and all the stuff. So let me start with this. Were these harmful comment, were they any surprise to you, or were you intimidated by it, Sarah?
I was not surprised by these comments at all. I was actually really expecting it because I did notice even before that if I post anything as a student saying anything against the UCP, I get such awful comments. So the amount of hate that was just targeted towards our religion and race was not surprising, especially considering the demographic that was mainly doing it. And I would also like to say that it is, I don't think anyone has the right to call a religious school that is protesting for teachers like immigrants are in any way. Like, I don't think immigrant is the wrong word, but I just don't think that that is the right word, especially when a lot of people in the school are Canadian citizens. And you're not more of a Canadian citizen than someone else if you're white. You are still both equal in the law's eyes. You're not better than another person. So yeah. And also
Uh,
I would also like
Go
to
ahead.
say, like, it actually just proved their point because it showed their true colors about them being like these like blind UCP followers that don't care about the rights of workers being violated, about the students that are affected by this. It just showed that they're mostly just focusing about like political division and like, no, I'm right, you're wrong, and not
Yeah.
beyond that idea.
But also, I don't think it's fair to assume every negative comment came from UCP. I mean, some people, they're not really affiliated with any political parties, right? So, but definitely there's a lot of racism came out of these comments. We didn't have to link it directly to this party or that party. And I think that's my opinion. I'm not trying to force it on you, but it to say UCP doing this for me, and I have
All
a
right.
little bit hard time to digest it.
No,
So
no, no.
I would say there's racism
I totally
in any parties.
I totally understand, and I'm so sorry if that is like a
No,
bad,
no, no. You don't have to be sorry. We're chit
but
chatting. That's all.
I am the reason I did say that is because it's mostly like people that are like so like associated with it that like, for example, supporters of the party would support what they're doing, in my opinion. So that's why I keep saying that, but I do understand your point. I apologize.
Okay, Askat, you'd like to add into that?
I kind of got off track when you guys started talking about these. It was the question was talking about how there people are calling like the comments the negative
Yeah.
comments. Yeah.
Yes.
No, that did surprise
So
me.
I mean, the reaction were more about you as how you dress up and what's your face look like. You be an immigrant, being this. This is what are you doing here. This is not. So it wasn't talking. As somebody said, most comments were not about the topic. It was divided to two ways. You've been used by the teachers as a pawn to talk about this, or you are immigrant, you are this and that, and you have no right to talk about the topic. So probably that's what I did. These comment has any like intimidate you in any way, or were you expecting it before you
No,
started?
no, I completely expected it. I expected it like the moment we stepped outside. I expected people to be rolling down their windows and screaming things at us, or doing inappropriate motions at us, or doing something. I definitely expected a lot more like hate and stuff, and I'm not intimidated by any of it. They can call me again, immigrant is not a bad term to use, but trying to use it as an insult towards making someone's political view be seen as less,
Mm.
that is a very low blow in my opinion. And I also know that a lot of people that were protesting were not only born and raised in Canada, most of them have never even visited their home countries. They are completely enveloped in like the society of the Canadian government and everything that is happening in Canada. They're very well aware of it, and they're very much integrated into it, just as any supposed white one that looks Canadian rather than anything. So I think that using those types of insults and then mocking our religion just because we were a Muslim school protesting about it, I think that was also a really low blow, because I think they can't attack anything that we were specifically saying, so they came for our personal lives instead.
Okay. Well, I do have a comment here that I think you have, if you like to respond to it, Sarah, and I'll put it here. Said Mahmoud Mora said, "Good for you, girls. Just make sure to keep the LGBT supporters away from you, and maybe if you can check a bit more on the ATA."
Um,
If you want to comment, fine. Not, but I just because I have to respect all the people who are watching and commenting, so I have to put this comment here. You would
can I
like, if you
I
want
would
me to put it back?
no. It's just that I saw a previous comment from the same person, and while there was so much hatred in the comments, that person commented basically not exactly on their side, but basically saying that we were wrong to go on a walkout because it's associated with the ATA, so we should not have done this. And I personally was like, it felt weird to me personally because it's coming from another Muslim and we're Muslim youth doing this. And while there's so much hatred, you're just spreading even more while you're like a Muslim. So I would just like to say that for a second up, um, like about the LGBTQ supporters, this is something that anyone like it's literally like their right to do so. It does not mean that us as Muslims like also do so, but um we should still respect these people. We should respect all people no matter what. They're still humans. Um so that's what I would like to say.
Okay. You
I
would like to
can
add anything, Aska?
Yeah. So, for the LGBTQ part, so in our religion, it's not really allowed, as in like most religions. It's seen as
We don't
wrong.
want to talk about the LGBT stuff. We're talking about. I mean,
The
there's a comment in Java. We're not here to talk about it, but
Yeah,
I mean,
but the
if you want to reply to it, that's totally up to you.
he was mentioning keep them away from us. I'm not going to run away from an LGBTQ person if they're coming to support my political opinion. They're not something that is like scary to me or something that I feel like I should be insulted by their presence. It's the same thing in even in just our religion. We're taught to respect everyone, no matter what they've done, no matter what they're like, because it's their choice, and if they aren't harming anyone within what they're doing, then it's not really our stance to be like, oh, keep these people away from us or take away their rights or do this or do that to them. I think that they're still human, and that if they support what we are doing, then I wouldn't mind welcoming them to come and protest with us.
Okay, beautiful. I'm Tool saying, well done, student, 100%. Sarah Saleh said, well done. Sarah Zakat, stay strong. Noha said, bravo, well done. We have another comment may say, well said, Sarah, stay strong. And Ali, great job, guys. Oh, do you know who's Ali Jawabra? This is the guy who called in 911 to save the house in Rundle. I mean, I'm going to have an interview. He's at 10 years old. So this Ali, he was at 10 years old. He came when he came from the Medina school, and he saw the flame coming out of his house. I mean, the neighbor's house, and he ran into the house, called 911, and I think, in my opinion, he was part of the rescue plan. Anyway, so these comments that we all read, and to be honest with you, parents were so concerned about as being hateful. There were some parents address it to me saying, Sam, this is like really making our kids feeling a little bit awkward and feeling unsafe. Do you think these comments will have any impact after this, especially for those students who were part of them? I don't know if you have a chance to talk to them. Do you think these negative comment about what you've done will have any rooms in your future activities?
I actually talked to my principal, kind of mentioned this, and I would just like to say that it literally does not matter. It's all online, and even if it was in person, because we were screamed at, like flipped off while we were doing the walkout, these, at the end of the day, they're just angry people that disagree with us, and there's always going to be people that disagree with you, and you just have to, I guess, like, accept that criticism, even if it's not actual criticism, because I don't think most of them were actually critiquing anything we were doing, rather our religion and stuff. But either way, I just don't think it will affect me personally in any way, and I think that you should be harassed for it, because I was the person that literally called you in for it, and I really appreciated your help and support for making us like spread this message. So if anything, I'm really happy that it spread, that Akram Jomaa did this.
Beautiful. Askat?
Yeah, I don't think this is gonna keep going on in the future. I don't think that at some point, like, they're going to continue doing this. I think it's a wave of anger that we were doing it in the first place, and it's like a wave of anger of seeing Muslim immigrants, like a minority, doing like behaviors that people don't always agree with. Even if they agree with what we were doing, they might just hate us as like Muslims or like children of immigrant or so colored people in that sense.
Yeah.
So I think eventually it will die down. I don't let it get to me, because yeah, what Sara said, no matter what you do, there's going to be someone that's going to hate you. There's going to be someone that's going to be mad at you. There's always going to be someone that's not going to agree with you. And at the end of the day, the most you can do is just, you can accept their criticism if they're giving you criticism, or if they're just downright insulting you, you can ignore it and move on with your day.
Exactly. But I think this one was more exposed because there's a lot of schools across the province were protesting. And your school particularly was picked upon, not based on the topic, but based on who you are and what you represent. And it really, that's why it spewed a lot of racism and a lot of hate. That's a big shocker for me, to be honest with you. But I think it's better to expose these the negative reactions to what we do, instead of just shying away from it or pretend everything is hunky dory. So do you think what you've done so far, do you feel satisfied? Do you feel like you achieve your goals, Sarah, with this walkout, as a student and also as a community member? What I mean by community member, as a Muslims, as a Calgarian, as an Albertan, plus as a student. That's what I meant.
Yeah, I think we really accomplished our goal, both as a student and as a community member, because not only did it spread to the community that we are frustrated with what's happening, especially with this like rise of like rights being violated basically by the government, but also that we were able to make our school community kind of more connected in a way. Like I met so many new people just because of the walkout, and I did not expect to like meet so many people and like talk to new people, and I think it just strengthened our community in a way, at least for the people that were in the walkout. So I think it benefited me and us in both like the community member aspect and student aspect.
Noor Kanafani saying, do you really think teachers really care? Aska?
Yeah, okay, definitely. I think all the do you mean about the protests or do you mean about the conditions? Because I think the teachers they were grateful that we were supporting them. But definitely the teachers care about the conditions. I had my biology teacher let me know that sometimes she'll go home and work until 9 p.m. and then if she has to set up like a lab the next morning, she'll have to come into school at 6 a.m.
Wow.
That or those are insane hours. I could not expect that out of any teacher. And the fact that she has no EA or someone to help her manage this massive workload, I think yeah, she definitely cares. I think a lot of teachers care about what is happening. So yeah, the teachers definitely care, and they definitely understood why we were protesting, because they said that like it's like for us as well. They they knew that we knew that it was for us. They supported us trying to make our education better and their lives better, and like work together to do that. I want to add to the goal thing. I don't think our goal is fully achieved until the teachers actually get better conditions.
Okay. But what you've done is a one effort, one push in the right direction.
Yeah.
Especially being a minority, being immigrant, being Muslims, that's add a lot of spices to the topic, right?
Yeah, but I think the big goal here is to get the teachers
Yes.
better conditions and actually have them agree on a deal that they both agree with, that is not just forcing them to stay quiet. I think it's the bigger goal here is to finally get that done. But right now the step that we took, I think that we were able to do a lot of positive things by doing that.
Right. And probably this will answer to Ali. He's saying why you think this will help. I think any effort in the right direction will help. Thanks, Ali, for your questions. Appreciate it. So, Sarah, after you've done the walkout and all this, everybody's so excited. I saw that in my own eyes. Then you walked into the school. What was the atmosphere inside the school after the walkout?
I heard like a lot of people talking about it. Like I overheard, like I was walking the hallways and I overheard so many people talking about it, whether they were there or not, and like just like saying like the things that happened. So I found that really exciting that the whole school was just engaging in this conversation.
I see. Aska, were any reaction from the teachers?
Yeah, as soon as I walked in, they started showing me videos of people that had posted on Facebook and stuff. And one of my friends came up and she showed me the one of the Facebook Live, I think that you posted, that her mom sent to her. And I was reading some of the comments while the live was happening, and I was just like, oh, this is kind of what I expected. But like seeing it actually happen, it was like, it wasn't surprising at all. I wasn't scared at all, but it was like, it fit what I thought was going to happen. But I think like the teacher's reaction also when I walked in, they were like, yeah, I saw so many videos. We're so proud that you guys actually decided to try and do this for us. Hopefully it can actually work. We're so happy that you guys took initiative to do this. We couldn't join you obviously because of like a lot of them were saying that they'd get fined like a lot of money if they actually came outside and did it with us. So they weren't able to join us, but they did mention how proud they were and how like glad they were that they were able to see such their students shining them in such a positive light.
So, if there's another walkout, would you think twice before doing it, or you done enough?
I think if there was another walkout, I think there'd definitely be more people that now that so many people saw the first one went so well. And I don't think the teachers would still be allowed to join us, but if it were to happen, I think it would go positively again. Like it would go well and it would bring even more people closer together and it would educate even more people on what's happening.
Right. Especially people criticize youth Muslims. Don't really care. They are not there. They are not really. They are not making the effort to be part of the social problems, the political problems, and all the stuff. But I think you proved most of us, or a lot of us, wrong by doing this. Do you agree, Sarah? Or do you think, Sarah, we should get more involved, and whether you're a student or adult, do you feel that, especially you, especially as Azka said, born raised here, Canadian Calgarian, but you've been treated as an outsider. You're still being treated as a quote unquote immigrant who caused the problems, and you're still feeling like you are not enough, or you don't belong. Do you feel like your engagement is more important than any other times, and those topics we have in here in Alberta, especially these days, talking about immigration, talking about the economy, talking about Islamophobia, talking about racism? So how do you feel about this, and where do you think we should go from here?
I think any student's engagement really matters at times like this because they always make it seem like the students have an issue and it's all the teachers being dramatic. But if the students have an issue, then this means that there's an actual issue. And if we keep on like protesting and showing our frustration and like keep like pushing for getting the rights that we deserve, because the Charter of Rights was literally violated. They were forced as workers to go back to school without getting the conditions that they even got. Like they just went back to the same conditions that they walked out on, and like the whole like 3 weeks was basically for nothing. So I think that it's really awful that that happened, and I think that with more like awareness and more people like saying that we are against this, it could do something. However, I would also like to mention that this is something that I kind of noticed is that I've seen a lot of people call this like fascism, and I would like to say that's a very extreme word, but I would agree that it is going down like some sort of authoritarian route, because it started with like book bans in schools, and then Daniel Smith like not meeting the deal that the teachers wanted. They didn't negotiate with like good faith, and then later like they forced them back to work. And I just think that this is a huge violation of rights, and that maybe more should be done to prevent this happening. I don't think the federal government can get involved in this because technically
Right.
it's
Yeah.
illegal, but she is doing this to gain more control, and I find that awful because that's not what's supposed to happen in a democratic province.
So you think you're right as Albertans? Your democratic right was violated by this?
Yes.
You do feel that way?
And I feel that if enough people show frustration about this, then it could possibly get better. Possibly.
Okay, Asgad, where we go from here?
Okay, I think that if it's just our school protesting, or if it's just us, like, Muslims and immigrants protesting, they're not going to listen. But if we get enough schools, if we get like as many high schools in Calgary as possible that have been affected by the strike to do it, they have to do something. I don't think they can just continue to ignore the problem or keep brushing it under the rug and saying like, oh no, it's fine, what's happened is going to happen. I think the fact that she literally, what Sada said, she violated the Charter of Rights. What is stopping her from getting rid of some of the other rights of like the freedoms that we have? If she's going to face no consequences for what she did about taking the teacher's voice, then what's stopping her from taking away other rights, like for us, the right to practice religion freely? What's stopping her from taking away if she knows that there's going to be no consequences to it?
Right. Okay.
I would also like to say that a lot of Alberta high schools did protest. I have a friend who's in Western, and they went to like City Hall, and she showed me some of the pictures, and like thousands of students all across like did the walkout. So I was really happy because it was like all at the same time, same day. So it felt like we were all doing it together.
Beautiful. So probably I'm going to end up with one question, or maybe I might have one. So Askat, I'll start with you. Now you're sitting face to face with Premier Daniel Smith. Okay. So what are you going to say to her?
I think that she should go back.
No, are you talking to her now? You're talking to her.
I think that you should go back to the table and discuss exactly what the teachers want and come to a genuine agreement with what the teachers are saying. You need to have a genuine negotiation with what the teachers want and what is good for the students, because as a student I'm being affected, and as millions of students like are around the country, like the province, they're being affected as well. So many teachers, so many students are being affected. I don't think you can just continue to ignore the problem and the amount of protests that happened on Thursday and the student walkout, and the fact that you violated the Charter of Rights. I don't think that was right at all, and I think that you need to go back to the table, settle on an agreement with the teachers, and then bring back that right for them to strike, so that they can, if something like this happens again, they are able to strike again within the next 5 years.
Sarah, Premier Smith in front of you, talking to her.
Okay. I would like to say that the ads that you keep on pushing onto people to push your propaganda about the deal being good and teachers rejecting it out of pure selfishness is really awful, because the deal was basically 3,000 additional teachers and 1.5 thousand EAs, I believe. 3,000 teachers means one extra additional teacher per school in the entirety of Alberta. With how understaffed schools are, one additional teacher is not enough. Which makes total sense why teachers would reject such a absurd offer. And secondly, 1.5 EAs is also not enough. It feels like they just picked a number that seems high to impress people without actually telling how this would go. And I would also like to tell you that students know that there's an injustice going on, and we will not stand for it. We don't want this. We want to get the public education that we deserve. We also want students, especially students with learning disabilities, to get the accommodation and extra support that they need. They need more EAs to be with these kids and support them. And without that support, just invest a little more into schools than you invest in other things, and I promise you this will lead to a better future. It will lead to a better future for you and for all of Albertans.
Well said. Wow, my goodness. Maliki, I think we're just gonna read her comment, because Maliki is also she's a very strong advocate of the Muslim community in Calgary. Calgary students were among thousands across Alberta taking part of the province-wide walkout. We had students who participated in this walkout in the front of City Halls. Why are our Muslim students being attacked for exercising their democratic rights? That's a good question. Why? I don't know. We're not gonna answer this. Probably we're just gonna. I don't know if we have an answer for that or not. But because there's a lot of people, thousands of comment on your protest and your walkout. So I would like to get a few words from both of you about, for all these people who support you and to all these people who try to undermine what you've done. So a few words to those from both of you. I'll start with you, Sarah. If you can say something, a few words to the people who support you and to the people who criticize you.
To the people that support our movement in Calgary Islamic School, amongst other schools, of course, I would like to say that you truly stand with teachers and with students, and you are probably a very democratic person if you believe that a person should exercise their right to express their opinions freely, and that the rights of teachers should not be violated by just ending a strike all of a sudden. That is not how a strike works. So I would just like to say that you are on the right side, I guess. I'm not really trying to make sides, but
yeah.
Saying that you actually care about the people and care about democracy being in Alberta. And to the people that criticize us, I'm honestly not surprised that you criticize us, besides the fact that we're people of color and stuff, but also if you supported Daniel Smith violating the rights of teachers, then I would not be surprised if you would support other rights being violated of like other people, and I would not be surprised if you like continue supporting this. And I really hope that you look more into this and how it can actually harm you and not just other people.
Well said. Beautiful. Aska,
So
for the
respond.
people who support you and the people who criticize.
Oh, so I appreciate every single person that supports us and says that what we're doing is right and that we're exercising our free rights and that what we're doing is taking part in politics as youth, and that the fact that we're people of color and that we're Muslims isn't stopping us. I appreciate everyone that says that we're doing right and that we need to be fighting for public education. And then for anyone that's criticizing us, I want to know genuinely what are they criticizing our political view? Are they criticizing what we were saying or what we were doing, or are they criticizing us personally as people because we stand on where we stand? If it's genuine criticism, I'm willing to hear. I want to know what their side is, that they think that we're wrong and what we were doing was completely out of line. But if it's just an attack to my character that, oh, you're a girl, you're a Muslim, why are you doing this? Go back to your country. Why are you why are you screaming and shouting on the streets about nothing? Then I would just say, just don't even bother leaving a comment. I'm going to read it. It's going to go in through one ear, it's going to leave out the other. I'm not going to remember it at all. But if you're going to give me genuine criticism and you're going to tell me exactly the points on why I'm wrong and you're going to provide evidence and all that, then I'm willing to hear you out. And then just big thank you, genuine thank you to everyone that was supporting us and that is taking our stance as well. Hopefully, if there's enough people, Danielle Smith, she can't ignore what is happening anymore, and she has to make an official statement about what's happening.
Well said. Well, I really want to thank you both for taking the time to be here tonight. But also, I want to tell you something. Like, I know there's a lot of students who participate in the walkout, but I do have to give you a lot of credit, Sarah, and your team and your group for what you've done. Because in my opinion, you're part of the walkout brought the most, in my opinion, the like results in terms of talking about the topic, bringing the issue to the surface, and also sending a message. You guys, especially being, as you said, minority group, Muslims group, color people of color, whatever that stupid labels we might have on our forehead. It's really, it has to stop. It has to end. We're part of the society, and whatever is good for the society is good for us. And you really presented this and exhibited in the best way possible. I've been in so many protests, and I gotta tell you, the excitement and the joy and the will to participate and to be part of the walkout, and I saw it in boys and girls. It was, I did not even expect this is gonna go this far, or is the energy is gonna be like this. So thank you for putting this together. And thanks for not being intimidated by the so-called extreme negative comment, racist, Islamophobic stuff. But I would say facing the problems and the challenges is much better than sticking our hand in the sand and try to hide from a confrontation. I think the reason we're reading all this comment is because people are kind of a little bit shocked. What? A hijabi girl protesting? This is getting involved in the politics. A Muslim girl holding a sign with the condemning or objecting to a UCP or stuff. So because we are not there all the time, that's why it was a big shocker for them. So I really think we need to do more on all front with all parties and be involved and get engaged. And especially you as a future leader of this country and this province and this community. Kudos for you, and thank you for doing this. I think this is going to go in your resume as one of the most successful walkout in Alberta. So thank you both for doing this. I'll give you 30 seconds if you want to say anything, both of you, and then we wrap it up.
Okay, you can go first.
No, you go first.
Okay, I want to thank everyone that is supporting us, everyone that drove by us and gave us thumbs up, or if they honked, and it just increased the energy so much more. And every single student that attended the protest, and every single one that was so excited to be there, and they just added to the energy of being in such a community and protest, like exercising our free rights. I want to just thank everyone. It was such a beautiful thing to be a part of. I'm so proud to be part of my community. I wouldn't trade my race or my religion or anything just so I wouldn't get hate. And then for anyone that's criticizing, you guys can keep going if you want. It's not going to affect me. It's not going to bother me. You're not intimidating me. You're not intimidating Sara. I don't think you're intimidating anyone at all. You're leaving angry comments that can be traced back to you one day. That's on you. Do what you do. And thank you so much for supporting us.
Absolutely. Sarah, your last word?
First up, I would like to say thank you for everyone that like supported us and saw the video and like was commenting things that were like in support of us amongst all these hateful comments that really did give us hope that maybe we're in the right direction. I would also like to say that I do think that it's sort of embarrassing in a way if you're like an adult that's saying these very hateful words to kids. Like I do understand they might critique it and stuff, but I do think that there are nicer ways to say it, and that again, these are children that you're talking to. We are 16. Some people were younger there. Like I think we need a little more respect, and that's also cyberbullying. So I really don't mind any political differences. I just like it when it's more discussion based rather than just throwing insults around. So yeah, but thank you so much again. I really appreciate those that were supporting us in this cause, and my principal and vice principal and my teachers that allowed us to do this. Like we couldn't have done this without them, and they're organized. Well, they didn't organize, but they were helping us like be safe and stuff outside in the walkout. So yeah, not the teachers. Let me make that clear because this.
Well, in Arabic, we say mashallah. So seriously, mashallah. I'm so happy for you guys, and thank you for everything you've done. And we're with you. We're supporting you. And all these comments, it really it reflect nothing but the ill soul of some people and how much hate they have inside their heart. So let's work together and let's face this hate with respect and just coexistence. Thank you very much and have a wonderful good night.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, thanks for everybody watching. Thanks for all the comments and please do share. So if you care. Salam alaikum.